As anthropologists, the goal of this project was to capture the process of filmmaking through the lens of a Georgetown student. Ultimately, we want to better understand how students can use films to elicit various responses from their audience, and we want to convey that to our own audience. Our hope is that in understanding the relationship between the filmmakers, the film itself, and our audience, we will be able to connect to our audience using what we've gathered throughout ethnographic research. One method we research in connecting to an audience is the equipment used in the production of a film. The nearly infinite styles of production mean that the visuals that derive meaning for an audience are at the hands of the filmmakers, as they are equipped with the tools necessary to help relay their message however they please.
How important is it to have the right camera for various different jobs, and can good filmmaking be done without necessarily the right camera?
Oh, you definitely have to have the right camera for the job. If you want to shoot a long event, if you have a DSLR camera, that's not going to work, right? Because if you have a DSLR camera, sometimes you can only record for like 15 to 20 minutes and the camera automatically shuts off and you need to restart a recording. So you don't want anything to hinder what you're capturing. So for certain things where you have to capture long takes, a DSLR isn't a good option. You may want to go with like a video camera, a basic camcorder to capture those types of things. Or if you're shooting a talk, let's say in Gaston Hall, and you have to plug in to like a soundboard, something with the proper XLR inputs would definitely help you. And okay, a good starting point when producing a film, I would definitely recommend writing down your thoughts and ideas on paper first. Write down your ideas on paper. Also try to create some type of storyboard or shot list. Do not just go out and shoot. That will definitely waste your time, all right? Because you'll have a bunch of footage. You won't really know how to place it in a particular order. Try to have all of your thoughts and ideas written down first, and then shoot with editing in mind. All right, shoot based on the plan that you have laid out, and the whole process of editing will definitely not take too much time if you have everything prepared beforehand.
For this class, I created a series of short clips that I filmed in London to demonstrate various cinematic techniques used by the industry to tell a visual narrative. Before a scene begins, we usually start with an establishing shot. This shot creates a focal viewpoint for the viewer to understand where the scene will take place. It's usually poised outside a building, fixed on a tripod, before the camera would cut to a scene inside or outside the building. This is what I used in the planning of this scene. We start, we establish, and then set the scene with our actors coming out from the pub.
Yeah, I love long takes. So like if you're into films like Casino or Danny Brasco, Goodfellas, sometimes you'll see like these very, very long dramatic takes, and I really respect all the work that it takes to have something like that actually work. You have to have the actors in place, you have to have, your sound people, your lighting has to be correct, and you have to actually have interesting content.
In this long take of Zoe, I use a few of my favorite cinematic techniques: close-up, slow motion, and the montage. Lighting is key in filmmaking. In this clip, I fixed our camera onto a tripod and sat in the back seat behind Zoe using an iPhone torch. I did this in order to achieve a pale blue light set behind her, which would make the wisps of cigarette smoke stand out. I accompanied both a close-up shot and the use of slow motion in this scene. Use of a close-up allows a focus on the individual or on a specific object, but it also creates a shot which is genuinely aesthetically pleasing. Montage is used to convey movement or time going by in a short period of time. I employ montage to show Zoe starting the car, putting it into gear, and then driving away. Through use of the tracking shot, the camera engages with the viewer's eye, in a sense indicating where one has to focus. The tracking is also used to foreshadow movement, like we see in this scene. The camera pulls back, foreshadowing Zoe's movement and then tracking in towards the bedroom door as she walks through it. The tracking shot is used mostly when a character is in motion. I combine a tracking shot with a panning shot, and like the tracking shot, the pan is used to follow.
Yeah, I would say DC overall has a lot of history in regards to filmmaking. I know a lot of sets have been chosen to take place in DC. As mentioned, the Exorcist Steps. Here, I know there are other films to come to mind, like Independence Day, what else? TV shows like House of Cards. Like, a lot of these things are set here because of the political influence that we had. To be effective, I think it's very important for you to understand your target audience. You should always research what people know, what people don't know, and what they're actually going to do with that information once they receive it. I don't think you ever want to tell a story where someone receives it and they don't share it. You know, you definitely want them to feel that the content is important enough to spread to other people. I would say my favorite thing about Georgetown students is probably their energy and their ambition towards learning new things. A lot of times I'll meet students who don't have a background in film or video. They've never edited on any platform, and they approach the projects that they've been assigned with a lot of energy. Usually I feel like their ambition supersedes what they're actually capable of doing. But it's just something that over time they'll just get better at doing, better at storytelling, better at editing, and also figuring out, you know, different means of having their stories reach a wide range of audiences.
Throughout the course of the film, I use a series of moving shots. Then suddenly we're in a fixed position with Zoe moving through the bedroom. The sudden change in action creates a sense of anticipation for the viewer. Anything can happen at this point, and the result of it is quite exquisite.